So today's main agenda of discussion will be introduction of ICT, need of ICT in teaching learning process, ICT based strategies. I will discuss various strategies where ICT can be used, and the area of focus of ICT, how ICT can be useful for the learners, for the teachers, and various stages for embedding ICT with the learning process, with the teaching learning process, and how ICT shifts the learning from teacher centered to student centered, and finally we will sum up the session. So before going to the depth of the topic of discussion today, let's discuss a brief of teaching learning process and ICT. So coming to the very first slide, first of all, I will discuss about teaching learning process. Means first we will have a brief, then I will go to the strategies using ICT that we can use in our teaching learning process. So whenever we talk about teaching and learning process, that means there is a person who teaches and a person who learns. But what is the twist there? The learning, you can say, it is the modification of behavior through experience and training. That means whenever we learn something, we gain experience, we are trained, and there is change in our behavior. That means we can say that if we are learning, it is giving a relatively permanent change in our behavior that we gain from the experience throughout our learning. We can say that whenever you have seen that whenever we learn, there is not a certain age limit, not a certain period of time that we learn throughout our life. So learning, you can say, it is a lifelong process, it is an ongoing process that goes on from our birth to our death. That means during our entire life we learn something, we learn from environment, we learn from our school, colleges, universities, we learn from our families, from our peer groups, our friends, everywhere we learn something. And whenever we learn, it brings a certain change in our behavior. We try to adapt with the environment, we try to adapt the changes that we experience surrounding us. That means there is a change in our behavior. And you can say that learning is what it is, a universal process. That means everyone learns. Even you have seen that animals also learn how to survive in the world. You get it? So everything, that means human being, including the animals, everybody learns, and it is universal. And we can say that learning is an adjustment. Means what? When we learn something, we learn how to adjust in the environment we are in, and how to adjust with the person by whom we are surrounding with. That means it is an adjustment, is the change in behavior that we gain from the learning process. That means you have seen that sometimes there is a plateau in learning. Means it will pretend that learning is stopped, but that means the stopping of this learning process, which is called plateau, this may be due to the poor method of learning, poor and unfavorable environment. You can say there is difficulty in the learning material, so that's why we are assuming that we are not learning anything. Whatever is taught to us, we are not gaining anything, we are not enhancing our potentiality. So in order to cope up this, ICT came into the play. You can say ICT means information communication and technology, or you can say informational communication and technology. And in this era of technology, the demand of ICT in education, that means the in teaching learning process, is increasing day by day. Today you have seen that all online educational platforms are based upon ICT. Whatever we are doing right now, it is also based upon ICT. We are exchanging information. I am delivering a session, you are learning something, I will also learn something from you. So whatever we are interacting, this is based upon ICT. We are using computer, we are using network, everything is based upon ICT. So all the educational platforms are now based upon ICT. We can say using ICT, we are just providing a better platform to the learners. They are enhancing their potentiality. They are enhancing the interest in the subject that they are being taught. And in this way, ICT can collect, can store, process and distribute information through the computer network. Whatever you are doing now, that is through the computer network, through satellite system, through video. That means you will watch the IoT Academy YouTube further. That means this is also the ICT. This is ICT based education we are providing to our learners. That is asynchronous learning method. That means you can say that we have uploaded something, we have conducted our session, we have uploaded something, and whenever you get time, you will watch again to have some potentiality, to have some knowledge about that. So that is the asynchronous learning method. That is also ICT. So we in this platform are providing you the ICT based education, and you can say that we also provide blended learning. That means using ICT, we also provide blended learning, e-learning, mobile learning. That means using mobile phones, we learn something. E-learning, that means using electronic devices, using computer, using tablets, using electronic devices, we learn something. And the blended learning, that means online, offline classes, offline materials can be available at a place you can learn. So this kind of learning method, web-based learning, you can say, everything can be possible using ICT that helps the learner to increase their potentiality a lot. So coming to the ICT characteristics, you can see that ICT, that means informational communication technology, bridges the gap between the technology and creates new possibility. Using ICT, we can explore the various possibilities, we can explore various materials, we can explore knowledge that we cannot get from the textbook if we do not have any online connection or on electronics devices. So ICT is a beautiful combination of education and technology. ICT, you can say it explores, I told you that it explores new application and can be implemented in teaching learning process. It will enhance the knowledge level that will enable the learners to try different method. They can explore different method, they can collaborate, they can cooperate, and they will gain increase the efficiency, they will gain knowledge, they will gain knowledge about new technology, and they will achieve everything. That means at everywhere, at any time, you can get the resource materials, you can get the study materials that or the learning materials using ICT. So next, if we integrate education with ICT, that means if we integrate teaching learning process with ICT, it will emphasize the effectiveness over efficiency. That means it teaches children how to learn, how to integrate disciplines to solve problems collaboratively rather than to sit at desk, facing forward, moving from subject to subject in isolation. You can say that. That means students will collaboratively study, will just analyze the problem, will get the solution. There will be further discussion to improve that. There will not be a teacher centered method that teacher will say something and that will be final, students will study that only. No, that is not the matter. Using ICT, students, we are providing the student centered education. That means students will cooperatively will study and find the solution of the problem. They will discuss with each other, discuss with the teachers to how to improve their study, how to improve the solution they are getting from the problem of analysis. You can say that. So here, next you can see that using ICT, there is the shift. The shift means shifting of learning. That means before ICT, you can say teacher-centered learning were there, and using ICT, we are moving towards learner-centered education. That means ICT offers teachers a variety of tools to adapt the educational process to the needs of every student in the transition from teacher-centric instruction to the creation of, you can say, student-centered interactive educational means. That means the teacher becomes the facilitator of learning, who is taking into consideration the personal learning rhythm to every student, teaches to learn, to discover, and to understand the new information. That means using ICT, we are just focusing upon the learner-centered education instead of the teacher-centered education. That means there is the factory model of education, which we can say that is a teacher-centered. That means we are just producing the workers that will work in their future era, and using ICT, we can convert that to the broadcast model of education. Here, it is the comparison. That means if we have a comparison between what is this factory model of education, what is this broadcast model of education, you can see that in broadcast model of education, we can enhance the learning through social networking site. That means using LinkedIn, using YouTube also we can learn. You must have LinkedIn IDs. You have seen that there are so many posts are there, so many workshops are there, so many FDPs are there, so many seminars are there. Any coaching classes, means online courses, information we can have on LinkedIn. That means that is also a learning platform. It's a social networking sites, and that is the learning platform. YouTube also, nowadays everyone is depending upon YouTube. If you need a little bit information, that learners frequently focus on YouTube. That search in the YouTube, you will get that. That means what? In broadcast model, we enhance the learning through the social networking site, that is LinkedIn or YouTube, etc. Through films, documentary films, through TV shows, through the musics, to the news, etc. That means learner will learn with fun and with interest. If you are giving broadcast model of education, the learners were learning something. If they are using the social networking sites, if they are using the documentaries, films, using TV shows, that means where the learning channels are there. That means using that, having a watch on that, you can learn something. You are gaining knowledge that how people are adapting the changes surrounding them, how they are how they are coping with the environment, how they are getting the changes over there. That means you means the learners will learn with fun and with interest. They will be happy to gain knowledge with fun activities. So while in factory model of education, learners are trained to be like workers in future. That means you are trained to be a worker. This is your working time. This is your end time. You have to go there. You have to work upon that, and after you have to finish up to this and go to home. That means that is not the method. You have to enhance your knowledge. That using this technology, what are the additional things I can deal with that? Means if I have given few tasks and using the ICT tools, what extra knowledge I can have? What are the things I can do with this? What are the models I can prepare? So there is means in factory model there is the limitation of potentiality of many students. That means in simple words you can say ICT just transferred the factory model of education, which is teacher centric education, basically you can say, to student centered, where students collaboratively explore their potentiality. In teacher centric education, what is that? The teacher is the main focus. Whatever teacher says, learners learn. There is no other scope to enhance knowledge to potentiality of the students. And nowadays, if we just depend upon the book, if we just depend upon the classroom teaching, we are not supposed to get something better than the others. Means we have to enhance our knowledge. We have to gain additional things. We have to explore the things what is hidden to us. Using technology, we can do that. Next, you can see that ICT, you can see that ICT gives its best for learners as well as you can say the teachers. That means it has a focus on learner also, it has a focus on teacher also. That means ICT is both for learners, both for teachers. That means teacher will effectively enhance their teaching skills, and learner will enhance their potentiality to learn something from the technology that they are using. That means it is both beneficial for the learner, beneficial for the teacher. You can see that ICT, it provides what the flexibility and availability of learning material to all the students. This is for the focus of the learner. That means it will provide learning materials to every student using various learning opportunity. That means if you are using e-learning, if you are using computer assisted learning, if you are using web based learning, using various social networking sites, you can get various materials. If I am a learner, I want to learn a particular subject, I can collect material from much more. You can say the many of the social networking sites, many sites are there, many hyperlinks are there. Means you have seen that suppose I am searching searching something, and whenever I click that, there is a hyperlink, that hyperlink, and I am just taken to other page, to other website, to other forum, that where the best things are there. So I can also get knowledge from that side also. That means using technology, that is also possible. Means as a learner, if I am using ICT, I can see that my study materials, my learning materials is available everywhere, and I can, using technology, can access those materials at the tip of my finger. While you can see that all the resources are available in classroom, students can also access outside the institution also. Means you have seen that in your school, in your colleges, in your university, there are resources, study materials available in the classroom, in the library, etc. In e-books also, there colleges, schools are having. Students, in spite of this, can also access them outside the institution. You can see the outside institution means various sites, various social networking sites, so many websites are there, YouTube channels are there. From those things, you can access the study material or the resource materials. This means this especially benefits the students who are slow learners and having difficulty in learning, or you can say the learning disability. That means if I am a slow learner, I suppose I am not able to understand in the class what the teacher is saying. So if I just following some YouTube channels, following some websites, following some blogs, then I can get materials from those sites. So it will be beneficial for the slow learners, and if the learner having a learning disability, they can also they can also have benefit from the ICT based education. So these students, that means the slow learners or learning disability students, can go over lessons as many times as they need and understand their subject thoroughly. And you can say that ICT makes it possible to adopt new teaching technique in institution. It is for the focus of the teacher, techniques in institution. And we can say one such example is flipped classroom, where students learn their lessons at home and practice them through practical activities in class. This is the flipped classroom education. Through ICT, students can effectively learn at home using videos, while at school or educational institutions, ICT engage them in learning activities also. Teachers, you can say, they also experiment with different learning techniques and directly check their impact by tracking the student grades. That means teachers can track the student grades through ICT also, and they can also have a feedback that whatever they are implementing, the new technology, if they are implementing, what is the effect of the new technology upon the students. And one more thing, that ICT encourages the collaboration with any institute in any part of the world, and students can do so in the comfort of their classroom. That means student, if there is the collaboration of institute with any other institutions, then students sitting in the classroom, sitting at their home, can access those study materials, can access the study materials specified by the experts also. This considerably saves time and resources. You can say, if we collaborate with multiple institutes, or that means we can organize meets, we can organize conferences and share their knowledge with peers throughout the world. That means if there is a collaboration of institution with other institutions, we collaboratively arranges meets, conferences, seminars, and during those sessions we can share our knowledge that will be beneficial for the learners. And you can say that ICT improves the transparency in education. That means data can be shared with school authorities, students, other teachers, and even you can say the parents. So any issue with the student, such as absentees or dropping of grades, or you can say the bad behavior, can be discussed with the concerned people with data as reference. So this is one of the benefit. And ICT tools can also address the gap between the teacher and learner centered environment. That means, as ICT gives access to a wide range of information, you can say all students' unique educational requirements are met. So, teachers can find adequate supplementary materials of the internet for the students. So, teachers can have various materials regarding whatever they want to teach the learners or regarding their subject expertise. They can collect, they can have sufficient teaching materials for the students, and they can also provide extra attention to the student, that whatever they are teaching, whether the students are gaining or not, what is the performance of the student upon that teaching method, material or teaching methodology. So using ICT, teachers can share those materials with the entire classroom or with individual learners. So in this way, both teacher and the learners are beneficial with the use of ICT. So coming to the pros and cons of ICT use, we can say that there are huge advantages of ICT where less demerits of ICT. That means ICT, you can say, enhances the content quality. If you are using ICT, you can have various huge contents of a certain subject. That means if you want to search a particular topic, you can have various opinions about that, and you can just specify, or you can just choose a best one among the numbers. So it will enhance the content quality. It enriches the teaching effectiveness using ICT tools, like using computer, using laptop. We can enhance the effectiveness of teaching. That means if I speak something and if I speak along with the display material, it will be easier. It will be interesting for the learners to learn, to listen using the display. That means they are having a focus on the slides shared, and whatever I am speaking, that will be integrated, and it will be much more. It will just provide interest to the learners. They will be happily, or with the, having interest, they will just interact with the teacher. So ICT helps teachers execute a variety of ways in the classroom to enhance the learning result. It can help in active participation of the student, that I told now. The students will be very much, they will focus on whatever the teacher is teaching. If they can see the boards, that you can see the whiteboards, so you can see the study material displaying on the wall. You can that means if you are using the projectors, it will help in active participation of the students and makes the class more interactive, which makes learning a two-way process in class. Two-way means teacher is teaching something and learners are gaining the knowledge, and whenever, that means if I am getting some doubt as a learner, I will interact with the teacher, and teacher will then again solve my query or solve my problem. That means if there is a bulletin board, there is something displayed regarding what the teacher is saying, it will be very interesting for the students to gain whatever the teacher is teaching, and to enhance their potentiality, and to just enhance the question asking technique. And see that question asking technique, that is the important part of the teaching learning process. If the learners are very much clear what the teacher is saying, and if the learners are gaining interest over the discussed material, they will be actively participate in the classroom teaching, and there will be two-way communication among between the teacher and the student, or teacher and the learner. ICT fosters collaborative learning by making the teachers understand the students better. Using ICT, teacher can understand the student in better way. What is the problem a learner is facing? How the teacher can improve, or how a teacher can improve the teaching skill to solve the queries from the students. It helps better conceptual learning through animated videos. If we just play some videos, animated videos, some video that will provide you some learning, it will be better than just listening. And you can say this means ICT have the huge merits, and always you know that good comes with bad. So if ICT have merits, it has some demerits also. You can see that ICT involves much more cost. That means if you are using computer, if you are using network, if you are using web-based learning, if you are using e-learning materials, that means you have to invest some cost. So it invest much more cost to provide each e-learning to students, and because of the availability of everything at tip of finger will diminish the imagining power of a child. And these are the merits and demerits of ICT. And coming to the ICT opportunities, ICT creates various opportunities. That means it provides learning and teaching platform throughout the world in all the domains. Using ICT tools, teaching methods can be improved, which provides a flexible and motivated environment for the students and increases the participation of students also. So these are the stages of embedding ICT with education. The first is familiarization, utilization, integration, reorientation, and evaluation. So coming to the familiarization portion, a teacher is becoming increasingly aware of ICT, but rarely try to use it in their classroom teaching. Then coming to the utilization process, a teacher becomes increasingly aware of the benefits of the technology and begins to incorporate it into the teaching, often replacing the former activities with ICT alternatives. So this will begin to have beneficial effect on teaching and learning process. Coming to the integration part, a teacher is becoming increasingly familiar with the appropriate use of ICT and can integrate it into many aspects of the ongoing teaching process and the ongoing teaching methodologies. So coming to the reorientation portion, the potential of the ICT is now exploited to move into new areas and approaches that could not easily be replicated with the traditional means. That means the teacher-centric method. So teaching learning process begins to be significantly transferred from the teacher center to the student center. So coming to the evaluation part, the developmental and the creative, you can say the possibilities of ICT use are means fully explored. ICT can grow and develop in response to the needs of the learner and the consequent teaching implications. That means here also teaching and learning methodology or the teaching and learning process is significantly transferred. So coming to the need of ICT in teaching and learning process. What is the use of ICT? Why we need ICT in teaching and learning process? So you can see that the ICT can be used in teaching learning process. It can be used for diagnostic testing, for remedial teaching. You can see ICT can be used for evaluation, for psychological testing, etc. And coming to the first use or the need of ICT in teaching learning process, you can see that most teachers feel comfortable in using the lecture method, that you just use your chalk or your your marker on the whiteboard, which is not applicable of achieving various objective of classroom instruction. If we are using just the lecture method, that is not applicable for achieving various objectives of the classroom instruction. ICT may be of great use in achieving various objectives. That means it can provide correct information in a comprehensive manner with different examples. That means using ICT, you can provide various examples on a particular subject, on a particular topic. It helps the learner to broaden their information base. And ICT, using ICT, you can provide various kinds of presentation of contents, which helps learners to learn according to their pace. And it helps in better understanding and long retention of the information also. Using ICT, you can just provide such kind of benefit to the learners. So if we come for the slide that ICT, how it can be used in diagnostic testing and remedial teaching. You can use ICT for diagnosing what the students are gaining or not, or you can provide the remedial teaching. That means being a teacher, we must have experienced that there are some students who fail to understand certain concept or retain certain information for a long time. There are various students, you must have watched them, or you must have got some such type of students. So due to large class size or non-availability of diagnostic test in various subjects, or a lack of training, you can say resources, or a desire on the part of the teacher also, teachers do not conduct diagnostic test and provide remedial teaching. Here, if we use ICT, it can help teachers as well as students in identifying the problem area. Test can be made available on the website of the school or the universities or the colleges, and students can access them from home also. And these practices can be monitored by parents also. It is not, you can say, easy to organize the remedial program for individual students, as problem identified may be of various natures, but it can be implemented. And coming, how ICT can be used in evaluation. In the objective of the examinations that we conduct in our teaching institutions, in our universities, in school, colleges, etc., is to assess the academic performance of the students. ICT can be used in educational evaluation. Online test can be used by individual students to evaluate the learning of the student. Students can instantaneously get the feedback about the status of his or her understanding about the subject. If the answer is wrong, he or she even gets the correct answer. Not only the students, even teachers can also use it to assess their own understanding of the subject also. So in this way, ICT can be used in evaluation process. Then coming to the ICT used in developing the reasoning and thinking abilities of the students. Among students, you must have seen that ICT can be used in many subjects, in almost all subjects. ICT provides students a variety of instructional materials, and they can choose those that suits them. That means ICT can be used for developing the reasoning, thinking abilities among students belonging to different age groups also. And this is important in the present context, as most of the educational institutions do not pay attention to the development of reasoning and thinking abilities among the students. So if this case happens, so ICT can be used for developing the reasoning and thinking capability among the students. Coming to the use of ICT in developing the instructional materials, you can see that at present, there is a shortage of, you can say, the competent teachers in almost all subjects at all levels. Sometimes instructional materials available in the print form are not of quality and updated. That means if some study material is available in the printed form, and that may not be always up to date or up to the quality or up to the expectation. The textbook reading is very often not enjoyable and does not help students in understanding the concept and retaining the information. There are many teachers who are well known in different subjects areas. These lectures should be recorded in electronic gadgets and should be made available to all the users through broadcast on, you can see the television, on the various YouTube channels, in various websites, etc. So it enhances the quality of instruction in the classroom. The teacher can also use them to organize the discussion after their presentation or broadcast. Teachers can also directly download those lectures. It will make teaching effective, participatory, and enjoyable also. So coming to the primary goals of ICT. That means what is the objective of using ICT in our teaching and learning process. You can say the first is ICT makes the teaching learning process very easier. It just enhances or increases the participation between the teacher and student. That means ICT will increase the participation. That means there is the two-way communication in the classroom. If you are using ICT, teacher and student will communicate on various problems, on various aspects of the subject or various domains of the subject. They are just exchanging the information, if they are exchanging any information. So it will help the teachers to design various activities for students, and thus it will improve the involvement of students in classroom activity. It makes the teaching learning process very easier. If you are using ICT in education, it will make the teaching learning process easier. That means what? With the help of this technology, if you are using ICT, it is providing us various technology, various softwares, various methods of teaching. Then using that, students can access information from anywhere and anytime using M-learning. That means using mobile learning, using e-learning, using web-based learning. You can say students or learners can access their information, access the study materials, access the learning materials, access the resource materials from anywhere, from at any time. The students can easily share their contents with each other also. Teachers can also create and share their content with the students and other teachers. So ICT has made it possible for the teachers to interact with the students in different ways. And ICT also helps students in making notes. You can say it is a very important portion. The students can prepare their notes easily by using various resources available on internet that I have discussed earlier. Various softwares are available to help students to make their notes in the digital format. ChatGPT is one of the example there. Students can easily manage and organize their notes by using the various software programs. That means nowadays you have seen that ChatGPT has helped students a lot. If you are searching something in Google, that means it will provide various it will provide answers in various websites. That means in various websites you will get various answers. But if you put that in ChatGPT, you will get the quality answer. So it improves the teaching skill also. That means using ICT, teachers can improve their teaching skills by using this technology. It helps the teacher to design the workbook, to design the assignments, to design the e-books for the students. Teachers can also prepare interactive presentation for the students also. And ICT helps in evaluation and assessment. It is the important portion. ICT tools are useful for teachers in evaluating and assessing the students' performance. Various softwares help the teachers in keeping track of the students' performance. So, with the help of these techniques, teachers can quickly share feedback to students and parents. And ICT provides the up-to-date contents. Students get access to new and up-to-date content and material through internet and various online educational resources. So ICT is useful for the students in providing new information and broaden their knowledge. ICT also makes more engaged, makes students more engaged in studies. Using ICT, we can just make our classroom interactive. We can make our subjects more enjoyable to the learners. So the students will engage a lot in their studies. And when a teacher presents the content of the students with illustration, with flowchart, with diagrams, the interest of students in that particular subject increases. So here I am just showing the slides, and I think that in this way, if the teachers will show their slides, will show their means deliver their lectures to the flow chart, to the diagram, to the illustrations, the learners will means enjoy the session, will enjoy the classroom teaching. It increases the productivity of students also. Using ICT, we can increase the productivity of students. They can finish their homework and assignments on time and can use extra time for other activities also. It will just provide energetic means life to the students if they are using ICT. Using classroom, outside the classroom, they will just students will just enjoy a lot. And ICT promotes mainstreaming. Mainstreaming means it promotes mainstreaming by providing equal opportunity to all the learners, where disability or non-disability or disabled or non-disabled students in the classroom. Various ICT tools and techniques are used to teach the disabled learners so that they can easily adjust in the classroom. Even the slow learners also get benefit from the use of ICT in classroom teaching. And now coming to the ICT based strategy, that means ICT can be integrated in our teaching learning process in various ways. That means we can have web based learning, we can have mobile learning, we can have collaborative, cooperative learning, we can have computer assisted learning using ICT. That means ICT has given a broad era of using various technology in our teaching learning methodology to enhance the learning capability of the students and the teaching cap and to improve the teaching capability of the teacher. So it will provide a better era for the teaching learning methodology. The first strategy is way-based learning. So web-based learning means it is, you can say, it is a way to learn using web-based technology or tools in the learning process. That means you can say that web-based learning is associated with the learning materials delivered in web browser, including when the materials are packed on the electronic media or any other media. You can say that web-based education encompasses all the aspects and process of education. Using www, using internet, using various communication media, using various supporting technology, we can just make the learners reach to the ICT-based education, ICT-based teaching learning process. The online education, the virtual education, internet-based education, and you can say education through computer mediated communication, telelearning, distance learning, collaborative learning, everything is considered as web-based learning. So web-based learning can be also, it can be formal, it can be informal. The formal web-based learning means it is purposed and you can say the learning activities are organized by teacher. This is the formal web-based learning. If you talk about informal web-based learning, it takes place while you are searching material from the internet. It is self-paced, depends on the goal and ambition to learn. What you want to learn and what is your ambition, what you want to explore further. So while means you can, if you compare that with the e-learning refers to the learning activities involved computer interactive networks, and web-based learning is associated with learning materials delivered in web browser. And if you are using web-based learning, you can say there is flexibility of the web contents, That means individuals can learn at their own pace and around their own schedules within a given training time frame, or within the classroom teaching or outside the classroom teaching. Individuals can gain access to the resource materials or the learning materials here. Individual can able to take advantages of life long learning without relocating or requitting the performance. That means individual, if you are using the web-based learning, material is stored, and as a learner, I can access throughout the lifetime, throughout my lifetime. And it provides cross-platform or various softwares. Using that, we can achieve or we can access the study materials. Individuals can be positively challenged by, you can say, the actively navigating the online environment and learning new technologies. So using hypermedia, using computer simulations, using speech analysis, that means if you are speaking something and that word is converted to text, and you can get the material that you want to have. Using that, we can use the web-based learning, and here ICT is embedded. And coming to the one more part of web-based learning, that if we are talking about, if we have talked about the web-based learning, we should also go with the online learning. That means online learning is what? It is a way of studying in an internationally recognized qualification without needing to attend classes on campus. That means using online learning, it is not mandatory to attend the classes on campus. We can just get, or we can just gain our knowledge through online learning. That means it is, you can say it, this type of learning is everywhere at and at any time. That means you can get the study materials at your fingertips at any time if you have internet connectivity. Using example of that, YouTube, discussion board, blogs, Wikipedia. Using this, you can have the online learning platform, or you can have the online learning domains exposed in the entire world. And coming to the next strategy of ICT, that is M-learning or mobile learning. See, nowadays our smartphones is glued to our hands. That means we can use it for everything. Communication with family, with friends, and if you want to have online activities, if you want to play games, everything, we use smartphones. But whether or should we also use smartphones for learning? Yes. Mobile learning is a new way to access learning content through mobile devices. We can learn anything at anywhere as long as we have a modern mobile device connected to the internet. It provides the facility to learn wherever and whenever we want. It provides more motivation. That means students can feel motivated, learners can feel motivated to learn something new if they know that they can take their learning material everywhere with them. It will be fun, it will be an interest, it will just create an interest among the students or among the learners. M-learning also facilitates and speeds up the feedback process that we can have regarding our students, or we are learners. And coming to the collaborative and cooperative learning, that you can say using ICT, teachers can facilitate the collaborative and cooperative learning to the student. That means we are just shifting our teaching process from teacher center to the student center, where the students will cooperatively learn something, and they will analyze their problem, and we discuss with the teachers for the further modification. So collaborative learning is an instructional strategy that asks the participants to work in teams to explore a significant question, or you can say the create a meaningful project. Participants can be located in same classroom or can work together on a shared assignment through internet. Collaborative teams can hold discussion or contribute during real-time meetings, or comments or upload files, or they can work on collaborative online documents during the convenient time. And Unlike the collaborative learning, which is designed for the self-directed learning and exploration, cooperative learning is also organized around structured project or activities, classroom activities. So while collaborative learning teams can work independently and combine their contributions, cooperative groups will do what? They will meet face to face and their work is assessed both individually and as a team. So, for collaborative and cooperative groups to succeed, they need to be small enough so that all the members can make meaningful contributions and they need clearly defined tasks. So, in this way, here also using ICT, we can provide collaborative and cooperative learning to our learners. So, coming to the computer assisted learning, this is a most important part of the ICT based education or ICT integrated education in teaching learning process. So computer assisted learning has been around for decades. It you can say it has recently more popular and drastically altered the academic achievement of students. It involves the use of computer and other technology, and it doesn't require the human intervention also. It involves the various tools and devices, including the mobile phones, the tablets, and many more gadgets you are using. Different type of softwares and procedure can also be used in computer-based, computer-assisted learning. So this teaches how to understand the program while simultaneously teaching them about the subjects. It is a very useful tool for recognizing the students and you can say the teacher's fault and strength also. It can be managed to successfully pick the appropriate candidate by conducting the evaluation on a computer, and this can be done in very objective way, in very you can say the non-judgmental manner, so that we can just enhance the learning capability of the students, or we can just improve our teaching learning methodology. We can just improve our teaching methodologies using computer aided learning process. And coming to the last portion, that means the we have to sum up the our session, whatever we learned from the starting to the end. If you say that we need technology in every classroom nowadays, what is done? We need technology in every classroom. Without mobile phones, without social networking sites, without computer, we means learners, even the teachers, everybody thinks their life is nothing. So in this era of technology that we live in, this generation, we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand, because it is the pen and paper of our time. And in this new generation, computer, internet, and the various networking sites, various connectivity, various electronic gadgets, these are now pen and paper of our time. And it is the lens, you can say, through which we can experience much of our world. Using internet, using the electronic media, we can explore various things throughout the world. We can access any materials, any study materials. We can enhance our basic skills. We can enhance our problem solving capability. We can develop our concept. We can increase our concept regarding a particular subject. Everything else we can do using information and communication technology, and we can embed that. If we embed that with the teaching learning process, it will just broaden the broaden the way of getting information. And you can say that ICT has also become integral to the teaching learning interaction through such approaches as replacing chalkboards with interactive digital whiteboards, using students' own smartphone or other device for learning during classroom and flipped classroom mode. Teachers also need specific professional development opportunities in order to increase their ability to use ICT for informative learning assessment. can access online resources, can foster student interaction and collaboration. So ICT nowadays reinforcing learning experience of the students. So it is a means a very useful tool of integrating ICT to our teaching learning process. It will enhance our problem solving capability. It will provide us basic skills. We can just explore our skills. We can just explore the knowledge that we want to gain from a particular subject or a particular study material at any time, at anywhere, using various learning strategies, using various ICT based strategies. We can have our resources means study materials, any resources regarding our study at anywhere, at any place. We can just analyze the best one from many more. So this is all about the session today. I'm just summing up the session and just ending the session, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks to IoT Academy.